This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We have some news. Holy shit. You know, it's funny how a lot of you want Chris Greer fired. And hey, I'll admit he's not perfect. You know, mistakes are made, and he's made a few, and I'll point them out too. But I never say he should be fired, right? I don't think we've had a GM that can get us talent. He can get us talent. Does he have to fix the coaching shit? Yeah. Because Mike McDaniel ain't the answer. And I don't know if he's that. I don't even know if that's his guy, to be quite honest. As you all know, I'm not even convinced that was his guy. Today, apparently, he just pulled a move. I've been in the middle of an interview while this thing broke. But from what I understand, they traded Ramsey. And in return, they got Minkah Fitzpatrick back. Is that how it goes? Because I've been in the middle of this whole interview. I know you're telling me, hey, and I see all of you guys there, but I'm doing a basketball interview. So I have to, the word we love to use on this show. At that moment, I must compartmentalize. And I have to stay focused, and I have to stay talking heat, because that's what that segment is. So then when it's put together and he posts it, somebody's getting their basketball fix. They'll get their football fix with us here, like always, when it happens. All right, Sean, can you fill me in? Because obviously in this whole thing, and Ramsey, from what I understand, is getting $1.5 million raise, so he'll make $26.6 million this year. But what did the Dolphins give up?
Right now, it looks like it was just player for player from what Adam Schefter is reporting. It was player for player. Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick. When it was first announced, it looked like everybody was kind of trying to figure out what they gave up or what they were getting in return.
So we got
the Dolphins were getting compensation dropping, but then Minkah popped in and they said he's player for player.
So we get the younger, better player for less money?
It appears we get the better, younger, and cheaper player. Yes. It's still coming through, so maybe something changes, but right now
there is a reunion. Minkah is headed to Miami, sources tell me, and Tom Pelissero. The Dolphins and Steelers have finalized a blockbuster move. Jalen Ramsey, and his salary goes to 26.6. This is, bro, the Steelers, if this is just a move, okay, I'm going to be completely objective here. If this is just a move, the Steelers are becoming a bigger fucking joke than I've ever realized. Like, what they're doing to Mike Tomlin is, I don't care at this moment because I'm not a Steeler fan, but if that's the move, like, Chris Greer bamboozled them completely, bro. Like, bamboozled. He didn't give up any picks or anything here. Like, wow. That's a hell of a move. There's got to be more to this, Sean. Yes?
I don't know if this is the more that you're talking about, but Adam Schefter just sent out Steelers Dolphins trade part 2.
Oh,
Dolphins
okay.
are trading tight end Jonnu Smith to the Steelers for a late round pick swap. Per ESPN sources, Smith will get a 1-year contract extension for $12 million, confirmed by Drew Rosenhaus and Robert Bailey.
Oh, so that's the compensation that they don't get much for Jonnu in return. Okay.
Maybe that's the part of the
yeah. That's probably it. Because you're not willing to pay him $12 million next year. Because remember, this is a year extension. So you don't want to pay him going into 31, 12 million, but the Steelers are going to pay him 12 million a year from now when what the hell is that? What was that?
I don't know. It might have been me.
Yeah, of course it was you. Is Jeff Spicoli or Wiz Khalifa running the front office for the Steelers? So then they trade Jonnu Smith for some late pick, a 6th, 7th rounder, and they're going to give him $12 million the year he's not there with Aaron Rodgers. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. If you're a Steelers fan, you got to be wondering what is going on with my team. Yes, sir.
It looks like Tom Pelissero is now saying there are also draft picks involved in the blockbuster deal, which is sending Ramsey and Smith, but nobody knows as of right now, or it hasn't come out yet. But it looks like there are some draft pick compensations also.
There has to be something here, bro. You cannot just get Minka just like that for a guy that's at the back end of his career, severely overpaid. You're dying to dump his ass. But hey, by the way, the fact that they're sending Minka back means he's not like the easiest going dude, okay? Because that means Mike Tomlin has had enough of you also. And that also means you might be moving Jalen Ramsey to safety. I don't know. But I'm just saying, so I hope things go well with Minka coming back. I mean, his defensive coordinator will be his head coach.
Adam Schefter just sent out all in all. So I'm guessing.
Yeah, I see it. Late round pick, Minka, late round pick, Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith to the Steelers. So we get Minka in a late round pick, and they get Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey. Okay. That's actually a really good trade. So what happened to Los Angeles? I thought Jalen Ramsey was going to Los Angeles because he was playing basketball over there. You can't go by any of that. So the Steelers get bamboozled by Chris Greer badly. I mean, listen, the Jonnu Smith stuff, you can't do anything about that because that's all, that was, I got to be honest here. I blame Drew Rosenhaus more than anything else because he negotiated a terrible deal and his client was facing 30 with no future. And so now he got his client 12 million extra for next year at age 31. And the Dolphins didn't want to pay for a guy to give him an extension when they don't know who's going to be the offensive coordinator next year. They won't tell you that, but I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? Because come on, bro. I see what's going on. I'm not stupid. Yes, sir.
All right. So here we go. This is from Tom Pelissero. Full trade terms per me and Rap Sheet. Okay. Dolphins have agreed to trade cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith in a 2027 7th round pick to Pittsburgh in exchange for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 2027 5th round pick.
Okay. Wow. So we get Minkah and a 5th rounder. They get Ramsey, Jonnu, and a 2027 7th rounder. The Dolphins Chris Greer bent him over backwards and just rammed him. Okay? He just absolutely annihilated them. If that's the trade, wow. look, this team's going nowhere anyways. So you're trying to build for the future. I love the draft. It's a foundational draft, as I've told you. Okay. For me, what I am looking forward to in this season is specific players improving, maybe the defensive group also improving in the process. And then, you'll lose your games and you'll probably fall short of the playoffs or something like that. And then what you'll do is you'll fire this clown sometime during the year, and then Weaver comes in. And to me, that's where I start to get really excited about the future, and I start to kind of turn the corner. You know what I'm saying? Because again, yeah, dude, the Jalen Ramsey deal was not good. Giving the coach an extension was just flat out stupid. Guaranteeing Tyreek that the money, I couldn't have disagreed with that more. Okay. And by the way, I told everybody in that building not to guarantee Tyreek the money. Everybody that I talked to in that building, before they guaranteed it, which I knew they weren't at the beginning, they weren't guaranteeing it. That was McDaniel that convinced them to guarantee it. They weren't guaranteeing it. I can tell you that for a fact. They weren't guaranteeing it. And then they guaranteed it. So I can tell you that they make mistakes. And they haven't hired the right coach yet. But they can find talent, bro. They can wheel and deal better than anything we've ever had here in forever, bro. I'm telling you. So I would not ever let go of Chris Greer, to be quite honest. I'd find a way to figure out my coaching problem. And then obviously, I think he turned the corner as a GM and told the coach to go screw himself when he invested in guards, got big running backs, and then the draft was about fat men, which somebody said, did somebody say the draft should be about the fat boys and stop being the disorderlies? I don't know. That might have been the theme all offseason. So this is a hell of a trade for the Miami Dolphins. This is a hell of a trade for the Miami Dolphins. This was a terrible situation. They made a terrible situation into a massively positive situation. Gotta say. And that's pretty good, bro. That is a pretty damn good move, bro. Pretty damn good move.